Very good morning, students. Today we start a new chapter, that is ionic equilibrium. So, what is all about ionic equilibrium? So, in chemical equilibrium, you have learnt the chemical species are in equilibrium, are in dynamic equilibrium. The rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. But here in ionic equilibrium, it is the ions basically they are in equilibrium. Ions are in equilibrium. So that is the difference between chemical equilibrium and ionic equilibrium. So ionic equilibria is also a part of chemical equilibrium. Now let's have a look. Let us recap what you have learned, the basics of equilibria. Students, you know very well, the definition of equilibrium is there exists a state where the concentration of products and reactants are unchanged, or they are static, they are constant basically. So that's what exactly products and reactants, they don't change with time. So that's what is all about the equilibrium state. So equilibrium, you can also define technically that the properties like temperature, color, pressure, they are constant here. They are constant. They don't change. Constant means they don't change with time. Similarly, so that's what it is. Concentration of the system, they don't change with time. So this is all about the definition of equilibrium. Now, well, so let us, you might have learned in your schooling, that is 10th class, about acids and bases. So here the ions are nothing but the ions are coming from acids or bases, and acids and bases are of two types, strong and weak. So we learn all these combinations. So well, to start with, many students don't have a proper conception of what is an acid, what is a base, what are the theories associated in defining an acid and base. So today I am making an attempt to basically understand exactly what is an acid. So here, first and foremost thing is, the acid are sour, they are sour in taste, and bases are bitter. So definitely you can taste it. For example, take a lemon, it is sour, right, and it's bitter, bases are bitter. So you know very well, if you take any soapy substance, it looks bitter because it is a base. Similarly, so acids, they burn when the skin, when it touches the skin, but the bases are soapy. Bases are soapy in touch. So the most important test is called litmus test. An acid turns blue litmus to red. If you take the blue litmus, if you dip it in an acid, it turns red. The other way is here, it turns the red to blue. That means a base, if you keep it in the red litmus you take, just dip it in the base, it turns blue. Well, so here indicators basically. So with indicator phenolphthalein, it is colorless, but here base turns pink color. Base turn pink color. So, and similarly with other indicators also, it shows different color, methyl orange and different colors. Now my question is here, students, if you see here HNO3, HCl, acetic acid, CO2, SO2, BF3, AlCl3, these are all, if you observe, turning the blue litmus to red. So blue litmus to red. So these are all considered as acids. Similarly, sodium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, ammonia, methylamine, Fe+2, Cu+2, these are all turning red litmus to litmus to blue litmus. Students, the most important thing is here, these are showing the all properties of the bases. Similarly, these acids are showing the all properties of the acids. Yeah, well, I hope you understood. Now, very, very important thing. Now, I am going to define here Arrhenius acid. So, here I will come back here, try to understand, students. So, when I make an attempt to define Arrhenius acid, Arrhenius is the scientist, he is a scientist who has defined the acid as follows. Acid is a substance that produces hydronium ions in aqueous solution, or you can say H plus ions or hydronium ions in aqueous media. Most important thing is, it is in aqueous media, very, very important. So, it is in aqueous media. This is very important. The solvent media is aqueous, it is not alcohol. Now, students, have a look. A base is a substance which gives OH minus ions in aqueous media. For example, let us take here the acids. Let us take all the acids here, whichever I have written there: HCl, HNO3, CO2, SO2. Similarly, what other acids I have written? BF3 and AlCl3. These are the examples I have given here. So, let us see whether Arrhenius is able to prove these are all acids or not. Because these are all showing the tests for acids. So, but let us see Arrhenius is going to prove or not. Now, for example, here you have water. Here you have water. Now, aqueous media. Now, I am just here, HCl I am pouring in it. And definitely what is going to happen, HCl is going to react with water and it forms Cl minus plus H3O plus. That means this HCl is giving actually H plus plus Cl minus. And now this H plus is reacting with water and forms hydronium ion. I hope you understood. So, now HCl passed the test. So, first one passed the test. Similarly, second one also passed the test, because HNO3, when you add water, it forms NO3 minus and H3O plus. Well, students, try to understand. Now, let us see what about CO2 and SO2. So, CO2 and SO2, how they are going to give? So, that is the question. So, I am taking to the next slide. So, let us take CO2. Very interesting. How CO2 is an acid? Everybody knows CO2 is an acid because it is in carbonaceous drink. When you take the soft drink, sip it. So, it is, your tongue is burning and you feel ecstatic. That is what is about the soft drink. So, when a tongue is burning, you are feeling ecstatic. Okay, fine. Now, let us take CO2. When you dip it in water in the aqueous solution, it forms, very interesting, it forms carbonic acid, H2CO3. H2CO3. What is the structure of H2CO3? This is the structure of H2CO3. So, it can give 2 H plus ions. It can give 2 H plus ions. So, it can give 2 H plus ions, that is 2 H plus CO3, 2 minus. And this H plus ions can react with water and it can form hydronium ions. So interesting, you see how CO2 is an acid. Very important in the aqueous media. If you use any other media, it cannot. Okay. Now, let us see SO3. Let us take SO3 or SO2, you can take anything. So, I am taking SO3. So, SO3, when you add water, students, I am getting here, SO3 is like this. SO3 is like this. So, water is having OH minus. So, OH minus will react like this and it takes H plus. So, it forms H2SO4. Students, it forms H2SO4. Well, so here, how many here there are two H plus ions are there. Now what happens? Now it gives 2H plus plus SO4 2 minus. SO4 2 minus. So this will react with water H plus and it forms hydronium ion. So whether it gives H plus or hydronium, it is an acid. Well, very good. Now so far 4 examples are satisfying. What are the 4 examples? HCl, HNO3, carbon dioxide and SO2. Now let us see the other 2 examples. Next is BF3 and AlCl3 also are showing it, they are turning the litmus to what color? Red, blue to red. So however, now try to understand, students. So these failed actually. So these systems failed. These systems failed. So Arrhenius failed in explaining these 2 systems. But these are having the exhibiting the properties. These are sour and these are burning and they are all happening, and it turns the red litmus to blue. Well, sorry, blue to red. So, but Arrhenius failed to explain these 2 species. Not only these 2 species, many species. So Arrhenius theory is wrong, right? So what is the demerit of Arrhenius theory? He could not explain why certain acids, okay, can't give H plus ions, even though they are bases or hydronium ions. It cannot give hydronium ions or H plus ions, but still they are acids. Well, now I would like to speak about the bases. Let us see, students. What bases I have written? Can you recap? So I am writing here for you. NaOH I have written. Calcium hydroxide I have written. Ammonia I have written. Now CH3NH2 I have written. Fe plus 2. Cu plus 2. These are the bases I have written. So, as per the Arrhenius, what is the definition of an acid? Very simple. So, acid is the one, sorry, base is the one which can donate hydroxyl ion. So, NaOH, naturally, it dissociates to Na plus plus OH minus. So, it is basically satisfying the definition of Arrhenius base. Similarly, calcium hydroxide dissociates into Ca plus 2 plus 2 OH minus ions. So these 2 are satisfying. So very fine, very fine. Now let us see ammonia. Let us see ammonia. NH3. So NH3, now when you add here water, it forms NH4OH. NH4OH. So NH4OH can dissociate into NH4 plus OH minus. So ammonia is also satisfying. So very interesting. So ammonia also satisfying. Similarly, CH3NH2. Next one is CH3NH2. So CH3NH2. Add water in the aqueous media, naturally. It forms CH3 NH3 plus OH minus. So now students, this also is satisfying, but Arrhenius theory fails to explain how Fe plus 2, Cu plus 2 and many others are there. They are bases. These are also bases. So here also failed. So at the outset, Arrhenius theory failed to explain certain acids and certain bases as per the definition of acid and a base, as per the experiments also, because there is experiments. Blue litmus, red litmus to blue litmus for acids, blue litmus to red litmus. See, these are all experiments. They are sour, others are bitter. These are all experimental. An indicator, one is colorless, other is giving pink color with phenolphthalein indicator. These are all, so these are exhibiting. But however, Arrhenius kept silent. He could not answer. Now, another scientist has come to explain this phenomena. So let us see here. So these are all explained, Arrhenius theory. So of acids and bases, these are all explained it. So you can see a few slides. So it can donate H plus ions, and NaOH can donate OH minus ions, or it can donate hydronium ions also. Well, similarly here hydronium ion is formed. Well, now NaOH already given. So ammonia also, it forms OH minus when reacts with water. Agreed? So now, so before Bronsted concept, I would like to explain what is a strong acid and a strong weak base. So strong acid means it completely dissociates in water into hydronium ions. Strong base also is completely dissociates. These are all strong acids and strong bases examples. Okay, all HCl, HBr, HI, HNO3, H2SO4, HClO4. Similarly, first group and second group alkali are strong bases. NaOH, barium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, etc. Now, students, try to understand weak acid and a weak base. Now, let us take here weak acid and a weak base. So, weak acid. Weak acid means, for example, you take acetic acid. Acetic acid is weak. So, it is in equilibria. So, that means there is this is a partial ionization. This is a partial ionization takes place. But a strong acid or a base is a complete ionization. Similarly, a weak base. Let us take an example of a weak base. So, for example, students, let us take here NH4OH is a weak base. It is also in equilibrium with NH4 plus OH minus. So, here also there is a equilibria. So, it is also there is a partially ionized. So, try to understand, students. These are all about weak acids and weak bases. So, there is no complete ionization and there exists a equilibria. That's why you are learning what equilibria? Ionic equilibria. So, ionic equilibria generally holds for not strong acids and strong bases. It is for weak acids and weak bases. Very, very important point. So, why you are learning equilibria? Because strong acids are completely dissociating. Strong bases are also completely dissociating. So, naturally, weak acids and weak bases are not completely dissociating. So, you are going to learn that equilibria, that is called ionic equilibria. I hope you are clear. Now, let us see Bronsted concept. I conveyed to you just now. Arrhenius failed to explain certain things. What are certain things? Certain acids and certain bases by definition. So, it is not satisfying. So, let us see Bronsted is going to explain or not. Students, the difference between Arrhenius concept and Bronsted concept is only in the definition of acid only, not base. Listen carefully. Acid means proton donor. What is it? Proton donor. Proton acceptor is a base. Proton acceptor is a base. So, proton, as per the definition of Arrhenius, it is H plus, hydrogen donor, proton donor. So, this definition has not changed. Proton donor definition is not changed because Arrhenius also, what is the definition, students? The definition is proton donor. Proton donor. So, Bronsted and Arrhenius, so use the same concept. What is it? Proton donor. That means still they are pending. What is pending? BF3, AlCl3. So, Bronsted also failed to explain. So, but however, he could explain some bases. I will explain those bases where Arrhenius also could not explain certain bases. I am going to explain now how certain bases are defined as per the Bronsted concept. So, here Arrhenius base is hydroxyl donor OH minus, but here base in the case of Bronsted is proton acceptor. So, you should know it. Now, here I am going to explain about a theory named conjugate acid base theory. Students, have a look here. Here acetic acid is there. It is giving one H plus ion to it. So, that is why it is called, so I hope you understood. This is called conjugate acid. So, see, now you got CH3CO minus and NH3, it is accepting H plus. It is accepting H plus. Ammonia is accepting H plus. That is why it is a base. It is a proton acceptor. So it is accepting H plus ion. That's why it is a, what it is? It is a base. Now students, this is called conjugate base of acetic acid. This is the conjugate acid of ammonia. Now let us see more about conjugate acid shortly. So students, here ammonia is accepting H plus here, or it is accepting H plus from H2SO4. That's why, so you can see here it is a proton acceptor. Proton acceptor. I hope you are very clear in this. Now let us see here, sodium bicarbonate is there. Sodium bicarbonate. So here ammonia is taking H plus. So bicarbonate ion. Let us see what is bicarbonate ion. Bicarbonate ion is like this. OH and O minus. So students, have a look here. So how NaHCO3 is a base. But according to Arrhenius, it is not a base. Let us see here. It is accepting H plus. So it is forming H2CO3. I hope you understood. So try to understand. It is accepting H plus. That's why it is a base. It is accepting H plus. That is the reason it is a base. But Arrhenius could not explain this. How NaHCO3 is a base. But Bronsted has explained on the basis of proton acceptor. Proton acceptor. So I hope you are very clear, students. Similarly, many examples we can give. Okay. So next. Let us see the next application. So here, ammonia is considered, it is accepting a proton, and proton. So acetic acid is donating a proton. So acetic acid is donating a proton. Ammonia is donating accepting a proton. So that's the reason why it's formed acetate ion and ammonium. So these are called conjugate acid base pair. So let us see some more examples of conjugate acid base pair. Now students, listen carefully. Listen carefully. So here this acid is losing H plus. Is losing H plus. So after losing H plus, it becomes conjugate base. It is accepting H plus. Accepting H plus. So it becomes conjugate acid. So you understood now what is a conjugate acid and what is a conjugate base pair. Now let us see some more reactions of conjugate acid base pair. See students, here H plus is donated. That's why it is a conjugate base. Here H plus is accepted. This is a conjugate acid. This is a conjugate acid. This is a conjugate base. Now I am going to teach you something very interesting here. Now let us take here H2S. H2S let us take. Yeah. So this H2S, let us take one more example. So H2S is going to convert into SH minus plus H plus. So SH minus is going to convert into, you write equilibrium here. They are weak. It forms S2 minus plus H plus. Agreed? Yeah. So for example, if you add water here, so what I am going to get? I am going to get here H3O plus. H3O plus. Here also I am going to get H3O plus. Students, try to understand very carefully. This is a conjugate base. This is a conjugate acid. Now students, have a look. Now this one is a conjugate. Now students, here it has lost H plus. Here it has lost H plus. Agreed? So now this is a conjugate base. This is a conjugate acid. Agreed or not? This is a conjugate base, and I hope you are clear. Now students, have a look here. Now this becomes conjugate base, this becomes conjugate acid. So here SH minus, listen very carefully, SH minus, after donating SH minus, after donating H plus, it becomes conjugate acid. So here I'll show you another example. Have a look here. This is a conjugate acid. This is a conjugate acid. This is a conjugate base because it lost H plus, and this is a conjugate base. This becomes a conjugate base. Similarly, if you go back, this becomes a conjugate base. We'll write here H2S converted into SH minus. This is conjugate base. Now, students, have a look. Now it is converted into S2 minus. When it into S2 minus, now this is what? Because it is accepting, this accepts H plus, reverse reaction. If it accepts, this is a conjugate acid. Now this is accepting H plus, this is a conjugate acid also. Why? Listen very carefully. If this is accepting H plus, this becomes conjugate acid. If this is accepting H plus, this becomes conjugate acid, Ca. Now listen, students, here. If it is losing H plus, it becomes conjugate base. Agreed? Now this has lost a proton, it becomes conjugate base, this one. So here what is happening? It is donating H plus. It becomes conjugate base. It is also here in this case H plus. You take here H plus. Here this SH minus ions acts like a conjugate acid as well as a conjugate base. Let us understand how. SH minus ions is accepting H plus and forms H2S. Agreed or not? So it is giving H plus ions and forms H2S. Similarly, it is giving H plus ions and forms H2 minus. So it is accepting H plus. Here it is losing H plus. So it is a conjugate acid and a conjugate base. This is called amphiprotic. What is it? Amphiprotic. So that's what I want to convey. Let us see here. So this is H plus is lost, it becomes a conjugate base. So this is a Cb. So these are all Cb, conjugate base. This is Cb. Similarly, H plus is lost, this is conjugate base. Similarly, H plus. Now add here H plus. When you add H plus, what happens? It becomes conjugate acid. When you add H plus, it is a conjugate acid. This is a conjugate acid. So similarly, when you lose H plus, it becomes conjugate base. I hope you understood all these examples. Now, these are some of the examples of conjugate acid and conjugate. Hi, it is I minus. HCl, Cl minus. So similarly, H2S, so SH minus. So CH2, C2H5OH, C2H5O minus. I hope you are very clear, students. Now, let us see some of the examples I am going to explain about amphiprotic. So these acids are classified as diprotic, monoprotic, diprotic and triprotic. For example, HCl is giving 1 H plus. H2SO4 is giving 2 H plus. H3PO4 is giving 3 H plus ions. That's why it is a triprotic or a polyprotic, it is a diprotic and it is a monoprotic acid. I hope you are very clear, students. Now, let us see, these are some of the bases. So, let us see students, try to understand. CH3O minus, is it a Arrhenius base? Definitely not, because it cannot give OH minus. But this is a Bronsted base. Why? It can accept H plus. That means proton acceptor. Proton acceptor. See here, ethylene also can accept a proton. You will study in organic chemistry. Similarly, here also this will accept H plus. This is also a. So similarly, this will accept H plus. Similarly, ammonia already you have seen it accepts H plus. NH2 minus accepts H plus. OH minus accepts H plus. So, and H2O also accepts H plus. I hope you understood, students. So you understood there are some Arrhenius bases. So these are all, see, this is not Arrhenius base, this is a Bronsted base. Why? According to the definition of Arrhenius theory, base is the one which can give hydroxyl ions. It cannot give hydroxyl ions. It cannot give. I hope you understood. So this is how we should learn the definition of an acid and a base. Now, this is what exactly I am coming here. So this is what is all about amphiprotic. So here you can see, students, H2CO3 is a conjugate acid. It is a conjugate base. Okay. Now this becomes a conjugate acid and this becomes a conjugate base. So this is, I hope this is 1, this is 1, this is 2, this is 2. So now this is acting as conjugate acid and a base. You can see here. That's why it is called amphiprotic. Amphiprotic. So this is what is amphiprotic. H2O also. Students, have a look here. H2O. It is giving OH minus. I hope you understood. So it can also H3O plus. You can write H3O plus. So it acts like a conjugate acid as well as conjugate base. That's why it is called amphiprotic. So I hope you are very clear about Bronsted concept. So now let us see, still we have a problem. What is the problem? Bronsted has successfully explained about the bases, some bases. What are the bases? Like you can take here CH3O minus, CH3O minus, and similarly acetone. These are all base. So how ethylene? These are all bases. So let us see next theory. He could not explain certain acids. What are the acids? BF3 and AlCl3. Let us see. So BF3 and AlCl3 can be explained by Lewis or not. Let's see and go forward. So see, this is what is the conjugate acid base pair is about. HF is a conjugate acid and F minus is a conjugate base. So this is how you can write conjugate acid base for various reactions. You can see, students, this is a proton donor, this is a proton acceptor. Similarly, this is a proton acceptor, this is a proton donor. So and vice versa. So some of the examples. So these examples you can work out. So and you can work out these examples, please. So because it will become NO3 minus plus NH4 plus. So which is a conjugate acid and a conjugate base? This is a conjugate base. This is a conjugate acid. Try to understand. Similarly, write for other reactions. Write for other reaction. This is NH3. This is HPO4 2 minus. So because it is giving and it is taking. I hope you are clear. Similarly, here also H2O plus CO CO3 2 minus. So H2 HCO3 minus. Similarly, here is CH3 COO minus plus H3O plus. So I hope you are very clear, students. This is how you should work out this conjugate acid base pairs. Now let us see the definition of Lewis theory, Lewis acid and base. So students, you know very well what is Arrhenius acid? Proton donor. What is a Bronsted acid? Proton donor. Same, both are same. What is the definition of Lewis acid? Is electron pair acceptor. It is called electron pair acceptor. Electron pair acceptor. Students, have a look here. I am taking to the new slide for you. Now let us take BF3. As per the definition, it is an acid where Bronsted and Arrhenius failed in explaining how BF3 is an. Yeah. Now let us add here F minus. So this F minus, it is donating electron pair here. So it is electron pair acceptor. This is electron pair acceptor. Now you know the hybridization is also sp2. Now it forms BF4 minus. What is the hybridization? sp3, and it becomes tetrahedral also. So you can see, students, it is a Lewis electron pair acceptor. So here there is an empty p orbital. So empty p orbital. Student, try to understand. So if any species is having empty p orbital, it is going to be a Lewis acid. It is going to be a Lewis acid. Let us see one more example. AlCl3. AlCl3 plus Cl minus. Now it is going to give so electron pair. If you want, write Al here. What is the electronic configuration of Al? So here aluminum is like this. Agreed? So 3s and 3p. Now excite. When excite, what happens, students? This will be this way. Now students, here this is Cl. This is one Cl, Cl, Cl. So it is bonded. This is one Cl, Cl, Cl bonded. Here this is called empty p orbital. Empty p orbital. So Cl minus is donating electrons to the empty p orbital. I hope you understood. So that's why it is called Lewis acid. What is Lewis acid? It is called electron pair acceptor. Electron pair acceptor. This is called Lewis acid. I hope you are very clear about the definition of Lewis acid. Let us see the Lewis base. Lewis base is electron pair donor. What is it? Electron pair donor. That is called Lewis base. So students, have a look here. Now electron pair donor, Lewis base definition is electron pair donor. So students, have a look here. For example, here NH3 and BF3 you take. In NH3 is donating to BF3. So I hope you understood. Ammonia BF3 complex is formed. Ammonia is here a Lewis base. Lewis base. Try to understand, students. Now one more example I have given, Lewis acid. What is that example, student? Fe plus 2. Fe plus 2 and Cu plus 2 are Lewis acids. How? This is not explained by which theory? Arrhenius theory. Sorry, Arrhenius theory. So these are acids actually. How they are acids? Because these will accept, because they are having empty d orbital. Empty d orbital. So I think in the beginning I have given these things are Lewis bases. These things I have given in the concept of bases. Yeah. Anyhow, similarly, students, they are having empty d orbital. So similarly, you can take here, for example, H plus. H plus, for example, take ammonia. Now this is accepting electron. H plus is accepting electron. So this H plus is electron pair acceptor. Electron pair acceptor. So this is a Lewis acid and this is a Lewis base. Students, H plus is having empty s orbital. So in a nutshell, you can understand, if anything is empty, S or P or D, empty orbital is there, they are going to be Lewis acids. They are going to be Lewis acids. So in chemistry, as time progresses, you are going to learn a lot of acids which are Lewis acids and Lewis bases. So I hope you understood the definition of these things. So here, try to understand, students. Now take here H2O. It is electron pair donor. Agreed or not? Electron pair donor. So which is electron pair donor? Let us see. So here, students, here Cn minus is having lone pair. Anything having lone pair is a Lewis base. Is a Lewis base. You can see here this is a lone pair. Here there is a lone pair. So definitely it is a Lewis base. Here there is a lone pair. Cn minus is a lone pair. There is a Lewis base. So I hope you understood. So it takes H plus from this. That's why it is a Lewis base. I hope you are very clear. Now let us see this. So here OH minus is having a lone pair. It is takes H plus. That's why it is a, so this is a Lewis base. Similarly, Cl minus is having a lone pair. So it is a Lewis base. I hope you understood. So here K plus is donating to K plus. So it is a lone pair because water is having lone pairs. What is having lone pairs? That's why it is a Lewis base. So this is how you can identify Lewis acids and bases. Similarly, you can see here this is having a lone pair. So that's why it is a base. And it is having empty what orbital? P orbital, empty P orbital. That's why it is. So BH3 is having empty P orbital. So how already I explained to you. So boron, electronic configuration, the excited state. You write excited state. This is excited state because 2s and 2p. Now here hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. So this is empty. So empty p orbital is there. I hope you are very clear. Now similarly you can see students here. This is a Lewis base. Why Lewis base? Why it is Lewis base? Because electron pair donor. This is also Lewis base. I hope you are very clear, student. This is a Lewis acid. Now similarly this is donating here. This is the Lewis base. Lone pair is there. This is the Lewis base. So when you have a lone pair is a Lewis base. So let us see the summary of what you have learnt. As per the definition of Arrhenius, so H plus donor so is acid. Similarly, Bronsted also H plus. Similarly, Lewis is considered electron pair. He has given definition in terms of electrons. Electron pair acceptor is a acid. But base is considered. So base there is a difference. So here, which can donate OH minus hydroxyl ions is a base. Here, proton acceptor is a base. Here, electron pair donor is a base. See the definitions. 3 definitions are different. So I hope from the beginning you understood. So there are certain examples I have given where some are basically catering the definitions of respective Arrhenius or Bronsted concepts. Some are not catering. So those demerits have been proved by Lewis and some are proved by Bronsted. So these are the different theories being developed to explain the definition of an acid and a base. So I hope, so today we have classified the acids and bases with the theories of Arrhenius, Bronsted and Lewis concept. In the next session, so let's come out with Ostwald dilution law. Thanks for bearing. Have a good day.